Hello ducklings, my name is Sanniz and I thought it was time to do an update after my surgery. But first we do a little intro as usual, so stick around. Hello ducklings, my name is Sanniz and I'm from Sweden, and as you know I have done a surgery. I did it last Thursday, so it's almost a week now because it's Wednesday when I film this, and I should tell a little about it. I'm gonna show some pics beside it too so you can see what's going on. And like I said, the 14th I went in for my surgery and we was driving very early. We should go to Falköping. It's just about over 1 hour away to that hospital. So we started very early and was very foggy most of the way too. So it was not that easy to drive for Trevor, but at least he did it for me. And we arrived there in time because we set up very early too, because I don't want to, if something happens, at least you have little time to use for your advantage. So we came there and I queued, and I got my room, so Trevor had to leave. And I need to say this is trigger warning too for people that don't want to hear this story. So if you don't like this type of things, don't watch. That's easiest. But I got my room, and I got the room number 6, and I'm gonna show this little room here too so you can see how it look like. It's not that fancy, but at least I have my own room, and that I appreciate very much, because at least I can do whatever I want to during the time. It doesn't matter if I woke up earlier than some others and whatever, and you don't know if someone else is feeling much more worse than me, so you're gonna have to live with that person too over the night, because if everything goes right, you only stay for the night and then you go home in the noon the next day. So at least Trevor had to go home and I was waiting, and then they come and put in the things in both sides. So this side is not visible anymore because they didn't take, but I used this arm much more, so it's a little bit bruised still, but it looks much better than it did for a while. And I got my pre-medication, everything works fine. I had to change clothes before to the hospital surgery type of clothes, so it was not that directly fast looking, and as you can see on the picture too. And at least I got everything done. I had done the shower in the morning and the shower the evening before that you have to do with a special type of soap, that and even for the hair, because it takes away the bacteria and that type of things on the body before, so it makes it safer for your surgery. So then it was just waiting, and after a while the anesthetic doctor came in and said, before that I was actually meeting the other people too, like the surgeons and that type of thing, or at least one surgeon first. No, I think I've met them both, because first came the surgeon I've been talking with first time I met her came first, but after a while they came both, so I could see it was 2. They're gonna do the surgery itself. And when it was time, the anesthetic doctor came and he said to me that follow me here and I take your bed, because in this surgery, at least in this hospital, you walk to your surgery room, so that's to keep the blood and everything, so you fill it as much as possible with oxygen, and by your own too, because that's much better for you too. So I walked there with my little thing that was stuck in my arm on wheels, I don't know the word for it. I'm not sure I even know the word in Swedish because I'm not working with that type of things. I know what you call that things itself that we call drop. So maybe you understand what that is anyway, even if I use the Swedish word drop. So I had to go with that one, and he showed the way, and we passed an other room first where people were waking up after surgeries too. And then when we went out, I went into another room, and that was the surgery room. And this was a little strange too, because when you came to the table is not flat that way. It's actually standing up. So you had to back up, and it was little like that type of thing. So you should put your bum on it and press your back. And then let's put stripes on your legs, because your legs gonna be in this directions, because it's gonna be one surgeon gonna stand between your legs during the surgery. So another, I don't really know where that person is standing, but at least one is between your legs and the other one is working from another part. So then also put your arms up on something, so you almost like you're on a crucifix or something, because they put straps on everything. And then they slowly tilt you, and they tilt you to, so you had your head a little more down. And then they start to prepare you for the surgery, and the anesthetic put this mask on, so you're gonna breathe a little more oxygen and that type of things, and breathe, and then they're gonna start it, and then I don't remember anything more. And then I woke up, and the nurse came up, and I can see you are here now. You haven't really slept that deep, or even slept kinda. You've been more or less awake, but I didn't feel awake. I feel like I've been sleeping, but probably, I don't know. But at least I was there for a while, and then they took me, then I didn't have to walk, but they took me to my room. I don't remember that, but maybe I fall asleep or something. Or maybe it's so blurry because you're a little on the drugs and that type of things. And then after an hour they came and check you up and say you have to start walking, because it's very important, especially after this type of surgery, to start walk as soon as possible, because you need to get all the things sorted, and it's also good for you to get more oxygen into your body. And wait a minute, I'm gonna show you something. Plus I got this thing, and this, in the beginning I had to use it once per hour, because you're gonna take in air with your nose, and then you're gonna blow out through this one, and you're gonna do that 10 times per hour, except for when you go to night sleep. You don't have to wake up every hour then, but when you're awake, every hour 10 times. And that is also to make everything, to put more oxygen into your body, force it to get enough. Plus it also take away and higher risk to maybe get pneumonia. You know what I mean. You can get the sickness with the lungs if you don't take deep breath, because then you can get like liquid and something when you don't breathe deep enough. So then you can fill the lungs with the wrong parts, and then you can be sick instead. And just having a surgery, that's not a good thing. So I thought that was easy, but I discovered very fast that my voice was not working, and I had very bad throat. And it showed up that because when you go to sleep, you can't breathe on your, when you got the anesthetic, you can't breathe yourself during the surgery. So they put down a big tube through your throat. They're gonna help you breathe, because you don't do it yourself anymore. And that can for many be like a sore throat feeling, and that lasts for some days. But my voice went rubbish, and I hardly had it. Could sometimes it even sound, even if I didn't talk for hours, so I still couldn't get any sound from me directly. And when I was sounding, I sound even much worse than now. So at least my voice is coming back. I don't have any pain anymore. I had maybe pain the 3 first days, but then the pain went away. But my voice is still not there. But I hope you can at least hear what I'm saying. but I am improving. And the first night we had our drinks, we had a paper we're gonna put in how much we have been drinking, and we can't drink fast. They say certain speed, and I chooses to drink water and apple juice because I thought that was much more better than the third alternative too. And water was something they recommend too, that is most important, but some people can't just drink ordinary water from start of some reason. But at least if you get something else, so you get fluid in your body. But I succeeded, and every hour you did blow in this one, and you sipped through, so you have like 1-2 deciliter per hour maximum that you were drinking, so you should drink enough. And then I also went out walking. I was very early out walking, so they were surprised that I was up and doing so well, and said, "You are doing really well." I said, "Yeah, I feel okay, Yesha, it's not that bad." And I slept really good too, and then I woke up very early, but that I'm used to when I'm working, so I go up very early, so it's not so strange because it's a working day when I woke up in the Friday morning. So I went out and get more of those fluids to my sister so I can pick up, so I had my fluid. I blow in my pipe, and I went out walking forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and everything. And then by 8 a.m. we were 6 that day that was doing this type of surgery. Half of us did the bypass and half of us did a sleeve. So then the dietist gonna talk to us, and we're gonna have 3 different meetings. So we started 8 a.m. with the morning meeting, and we didn't get so much. We didn't get this type of drink yogurt first, and we had little teaspoon, and that should take it up to a half hour to eat. So it was a little hard to get it to last that long, but I didn't have it directly any problem. I didn't feel that much problem anyway. So we went through some bits of what we're gonna think about now when we have this surgery. And then the day continued, and you did what you should do during the hours, and then it was time by 10 a.m. and that it was now time for taking something else. And then we got like this little healthy Proviva juice, we call it, with the good things for the belly and that type of things, and that should take the same amount of time. And we went through even more things and talking about that we're gonna have to take vitamins and minerals and a lot of other stuff for the rest of the life to keep the body healthy, but also the importance when it comes to thinking right about the food and the amount of food and how many times we're gonna eat. And then we went back again, did everything for 2 hours again, and then around 12 a.m. it was time again to have a meeting, and then it was time for lunch, and we got a soup, a very smooth soup, and then we talk about the last parts, and then we come up how we should think when we are going on these different periods, because we have to do different periods, because your belly is not a belly anymore, so it goes down further, and to know how to use it. So it's very important to follow those steps. So the first week should be when you have we can call it a liquid diet. It's more like soups and very smooth. It can't be directly bits in it. It's a very small bits if it's gonna be anything, if you do a soup or something. So they explain that, and after a week we should start with what we call the mashed period, and that means that we need to eat food that we can mash, because the body is not prepared yet to take solid food directly. So it's gonna look more kind of like if you have a baby or something, you feed it, so you have to do that. So that should go on for 3 weeks before we can start eating proper food. But still have to think about that the protein part is the most important. They're gonna take if you not take it fully, don't know what they call that word for a much smaller plate, not the big plate you usually eat, but when you take the smaller one. So that is the one we should use to fool the eye, that is not that little on it when it comes to portions. And then the protein need to take the half, and then you need to split the other half in 2 bits when you got your calories from, and where you got your vitamins and minerals and that type of things from too. So it's veggies on one part, and then you have to have that thing with the calories, like potato, pasta, whatever you're gonna choose in the future. So it's very important, and they talked about the sizes and that it can be a little different from person to person. You have to try. And in the beginning they said every 2nd hour, but when I was picked up at travel, came home, so Friday it was okay because I was not that much away from the surgery itself then. And I can also explain that I didn't get the sleeve that I wanted because they discovered I have, during the surgery when they have opened it up and everything, it's not like they have cut me up because they do another type of surgery, but they saw when it came inside that I have a hernia, and that means that it could be a big problem if you had done a sleeve. So take away that problem, I had to do a bypass instead. But I was already told that if they found something that told things against the sleeve, then I approved them to do a bypass. So it's okay that way, even if that means that I need to be a little more careful than when I have done a sleeve, because it's a little more easy to do what they call dumpings or whatever you call it, when you react on food, when you're eating wrong or too fast or whatever, you can react very badly and feel very sick and that type of thing. So that makes it even easier, and you can have more bigger issues with other stuff later too. So you have to be a little more careful when you have the bypass, because you have no belly left, or stomach, or whatever you should call it. So then we can come, that travel picked me up by 1 a.m. and we went home, and it was really nice to get back home, I can tell. And the Saturday, because I had just bought little things to prepare, so it works fine. But I started to walk already, but I discovered that I didn't feel that well during the walk, even if I started. So I feel like lack of energy, totally lack. And because we always do our food shopping, weekly food shopping on Sunday, so Trevor said too, and I was thinking already on that one too, we should try to buy this protein powder and see how that goes, and like I said, I could do smoothies and use that powder in, and maybe if I feel that is not enough, I can still put it in, like if I have yogurt or whatever I'm gonna use in my fluid or liquid diet, what you should call it. So we bought actually that, and I did a little video about that too. I can put that down in the link. I can put down the whole travel about this journey too in my description box if you're interested and have missed other videos about it. So we did that, and when I got to Sunday, I felt so much better when I got those protein shakes and that type of things. Plus I was cooking my own soup, but I must say it didn't look that, it looked gross because I have to mix it, and I can tell it don't look that delicious, but the smell when we were cooking, and even when you're eating it after, you can feel the smell and everything. And I'm thinking food, because I have been on this diet before, and there was no directly food there either, more that maybe I put the salad instead during working days for lunch, because I didn't work with just that type of shakes they had, shakes and soups that is just really, so it didn't work for me, because I have a very hard work, it's physical, you walk a lot and you lift a lot and that type of thing, so I had to do a salad still. But now it was time to go to food, and I could tell the difference. As fast as I started with my own food and put even those smoothies, and I have a little porridge too for one of the meals, so that works so much fine. So I can take for an example, this week I have it could look with, I have discovered 2 hours in between was too close when I can't drink it, because you need to leave 50 hours before and after you're drinking to stop or begin, because if you're eating, so you must go still since your last sip on water. So I need to sip now, just from I'm gonna lose time here. The minimum is 1 to 1.5 liter a day, and this is a 1.7 liters in this, so I need to drink 1.5. I had already drank almost a half earlier today, but I still need, because I don't have that much time gap between my lunches and my snacks. So you have to, when I'm taking my last sip before it's time for a meal again, it must go 30 hours, not 30 hours, 30 minutes, sorry. Then I eat, and then it has to go 30 minutes again before I can start, and that's because you are not supposed to rinse out all the nutrition, because I don't have a stomach they're gonna do, and everything goes down directly in this system. So you actually have to wait with drinking. So that's it really hard when you have a lot of medication to take too, when you take it in the morning, especially in the morning when it's even more, now still for some day. But after Sunday it goes down very radical. So I'm happy for that at least. And yeah, I'm gonna sip a little more so I don't forget it. You can't take too big sips, and you can't drink too much at a time either. So you have to think that you do it in certain ways so you can keep up with how much you're gonna get in. Of course, you can have a day that maybe you can't get it in, or you drink coffee or something. Coffee with milk is okay, or coffee with what you use instead of milk is okay, as long as you don't put sugar. And if you're gonna use sugar, type of sugar, so you're gonna need to use those sweetness things that diabetic people use. But I tried one before the surgery and it's too sweet for me, even one little, and you can't really put them in 2 bits either, so I've decided I don't take it. So you can include that type of coffee in that type of drinking pattern too. So if you have drinking one of those and drinking like a full mug with coffee, so then you can add that on how much you have drinking during the day. So that's okay too. And yeah, I should tell you how it starts, usually morning now. So I start the morning with taking some yogurt kvarg, we call it. And in the same time I try to take all the medication, because there's a lot of medication in the beginning, because you have the surgery, so you got medication for it, you got medication for pain and that type of thing, because you are not supposed to have that much pain, because then you don't heal well either, because it's gonna be stressing for your body if it hurts. So you got the medication things, so you take them together, then I have to wait, then I have to drink my first thing, then I have to wait. Then it's time for what I call my breakfast, and now I have done a certain type of porridge. It's more really type of stuff, very nice to the belly, and that took some apple jam on it. That is not that sweetened, very low sweetener, and pour a tiny bit of milk on it, and it works fine. And then we come to next meal. That is my first lunch, and then I have eating that soup I was telling about, that is mince and carrots, cauliflower and that type of things inside, potato. And then it's time for also take a smoothie that I done with this protein powder, and I put some berries in it and everything, and use both kvarg and yogurt, and very mild yogurt, and milk in it with a low fat in it, and I mix it smoothly, so a raspberry and everything, so it tastes very good. And the powder itself have a taste of pear. I have done the recipe, and like I said before, it's gonna be in the description box if you're curious and haven't seen that already. And then it's time for my dinner, and that's gonna be the soup again, because when I do the cooking, I do so it's enough for some days, and I don't care to eat the same, because some things I love to eat no matter what, even if they don't look like it used to, but at least it's food, and much better than all the other shakes and whatever. And then we come to the smoothie, And after that we have the last meal, and that's gonna be the smoothie in that case. Yes, I think I have said that. Yeah, I think it's 6 steps, but in the same time when I take the last smoothie, so I take the last medication too. Plus in that time I also have to take my injections, and I had to do it already from the hospital. I had to do it myself, and it's not that funny to take them. I really hate it. I do hate them. I'm not sure I'm gonna show it because I do not like those shots, but they are to protect you from blood clots, and you are supposed to take it same time. So because I had it around 8 p.m. on the hospital, so that's around that time I'm gonna hold it till they're finished. And it's still the whole week before it's still a lot of days left, because I think I still have 5 injections. Sorry for burping something, that is usual for these things too. You can do that in the beginning when you came home. You could both burp and do the other part, because they have put up so much I don't know the word in English, but they do this gas inside it to make the surgery easier. So you can do a lot of that type of, and when you're eating you're gonna start hearing sounds too, but you are not meant to get pain, and you are supposed to stop. So you have to test how much you need. And because I already started to walk very much when I came home, so already on the Saturday I had walked a lot of steps, and on the Sunday I started to walk over 10,000 steps. So, and I continued with it so far. So then I need my protein, so and then I might have to have bigger portions, but I still need to listen to my body if I had enough. And yesterday I had that type of feeling. So instead of taking the last smoothie that I should or had planned to do, I took just a little glass with milk, and then not even full glass with me, because you're not supposed to drink that much. But I took a little to take down the pills and drank it very slowly, because you still have protein and still have things you need in your body. So it's better than nothing, and you're supposed to take something, like I said, even if you don't feel well. So you're supposed to take something, but you have to listen to your body, and it's now the big time when you're gonna adjust how everything works. And I can say this zero drink I found to do like a lemonade or whatever you call it have worked very fine, and I'm happy for it, because I don't like just drinking plain water. But you are not allowed to drink carbonated water or fizzy water, what you call it, sparkly water. You have so many words if you're English or American English and that type of thing. So we are not allowed to drink that for at least 1 month. And like I said, when it comes to alcohol, for the people that usually drink that, they have to wait some months too, because the body is not prepared. And like I said, the advice, if you're gonna take something, do it first time home, because you're gonna react totally different than you usually do. So you can be very drunk very fast, even if it goes over very fast too, compared with other people when they reach that type of level. But when you just maybe drinking 1 glass of wine or whatever you're drinking, you're gonna look like you have drinking a lot, like party. So you have to be careful, and it's very easy to be addicted to alcohol too. They have warned about that type of things too. Don't know why, but that's how it goes. And yeah, like I said, I have gone down with my painkillers. I don't take more than morning and evening right now. I have to see for some days, because I still have the one that is for protecting me from infections and that type of things too. So as long as I take them, I'm at least gonna take both. Then I'm gonna see how it feels, if it's only gonna be over the night. I have slept very good. I have slept over 8 hours, so that's good too. And it was very good so far. The only thing I don't like is the staples, because especially when it goes later to the day, it starts to feel very uncomfortable, no matter what you have on you and how position you are in or whatever. it feels very uncomfy, and the plasters are itchy. They're itchy like hell, and even start to get some irritation or some, but I can't get rid of those things before next week. And I couldn't get an earlier because we have a time gap there for 10 days to 14 days when you need to take them out. But my doctor place didn't have any time before. It have gone 2 weeks, so it's not before next Thursday I'm gonna take them out. So I have to stand a little more with that uncomfy feeling and that type of things. And in the beginning you have been very swollen, and you actually gained weight after the surgery too. So that was strange, because when I went to the surgery I was actually the lowest I've been for a very long time. And then when I came home I had added some kilos on me, but they say it's normal because the body stress, you got the things going on, is swollen, it's probably fluid in the body then too, because it's trying to do something for you. So it took some day before I started to see that it goes down, but it goes slowly right now. But they say that's normal for some, especially when you're a woman over 50s, and I was not that overweighted either, so for me it might go slower, at least in the start. But the latest 2 days I actually seen that it's gone down now, and I think my walking do a lot for it too, and the protein. So I just need to continue with that thing. I have no rush. I have taken my blood pressure too in the mornings now, and actually seen that I'm down to more or less normal blood pressure before I take my medication for it. So tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment. So cross all fingers you have, darklings, so I can get rid of that type of medication, because that should be one of my first goal. Because it's the CPAP machine I want to get rid of too, but that is it's not sure I can be. But we have to see how it goes. I'm gonna see how everything goes for some months, and then they said on my other specialist that I could contact them and do a new test and see if I really need a CPAP machine during my sleep. And if I'm lucky, my thing maybe was just weight related, so then I can get rid of it, or it's gone down that much so I don't really need it anyway. So we have to see, so cross fingers. And cross fingers that the doctor tomorrow gonna say you don't need a blood pressure medication anymore, because I don't like to take unnecessary pills, because I never had problem with my blood pressure when it started just some years ago. So I think it's something that came after COVID and everything like that, but you never know. Else, it goes much better than I thought. The hardest is to remember this, because I only have, when I have 3 hours between my meals, that means I have 2 hours only for drink in between. And especially in the beginning, when you only can sip small sips too and not drink too much at a time, then it takes some time to get through your bottle. And that's why I need to do it whilst I'm talking to you too, else I'm gonna forget it, and then I don't have any time, and then suddenly time for a meal, and you know how it goes. But this is how it goes so far, and I feel really well. It's not that much. I have already had to throw away one part of things. The swollen start to go down, so now I feel that some clothes are starting, but it's gonna be very exciting to see how it goes and how it does with all the other health issues I have, and it's gonna help my fibromyalgia too, because if you don't carry that much, since when I started this travel for some weeks ago, and the official weight I had when they put me in, I'm not gonna put it down, but I can say how much I have gone down. So I'm actually almost 12 kilos down now. 12 kilos since just before vacation times on some months. And I never know when I've been this less with weight on my body, because that is before we moved to this place too, and we have lived here for maybe up to 4 or 5 years now, I guess. I don't remember when we moved here, so I don't have the time so I can check. So, but that means that it's going in the right direction, and if that helps me with my health issues, and it helps me to get rid of some of my medication too, maybe even a CPAP machine, because it's terrible to sleep with one of those. So then I'm happy. Else, stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other. And thank you for you watching even for this type of content. Love you all. Bye.